What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Music That Matters.
Yo, go and ask Moody, I've been with the shits. Keep it 100, I'm doing it big. I'm about to run them up. I'm getting bigger cuts. I ain't no runner up. Every beat that I'm on is a number one. Only thing that it means is I'm number one. Game over, my nigga, the jig is up. Can't nobody fuck with the three of us.
Thank you so much for joining us. We got such a good episode for you today. So sit back, relax, and let's get on to it. First off, let's start with our deep dive. Today we are gonna talk about the Lupe Fiasco.
Finally an episode with no Lupe hate, huh?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, God.
I've definitely been hating on that boy a lot lately. Not gonna lie, I did kind of cancel him in my mind, you know, after listening to the last couple tracks. But he came back, man. He came back with some heat, so we're gonna talk about that. But yeah, I mean, about the last couple tracks, he was just talking about outside, how he produced that beat in Napa.
Yeah, I made that beat when I was in Napa. Recorded that shit like at the crib.
And I didn't know that he produced those beats, so that's really sick. I mean, the beats are really dope in those last two tracks, but even he knows that this is the track, that this track is a hit. That same live, he talks about it here.
But y'all heard the other one though? Y'all heard the other joint? Where are my files?
Proceeds to my check. Yeah. Should've never gave them niggas no money. We was in the store, man, we ain't want nothing. We was broke, yeah, nigga ain't frontin'. No more.
Wait till y'all hear that shit. That'll be out next week. Yeah, that shit. Wait till y'all hear that shit. That shit fire.
Yeah, this track's called Roc-A-Fella Y'all, and that's of course Jay-Z's slogan, who Lupe has said is his favorite rapper of all times, as well as the executive producer on Food and Liquor. Real quick about the visuals, Lupe Fiasco starts off by throwing the diamond, you know, no Illuminati.
Illuminati sign?
Yeah, he starts off with throwing the Rockefeller diamond in the sky, and then it's like a generative AI image situation, just like the videos for the last two songs. I think it's really funny in the beginning seeing AI try to depict hands, and it's just going crazy and it's hilarious, but it keeps generating images off that image. I think the prompts had to be like that person or Lupe Fiasco and a triangle, because you know it just keeps generating images that have to do with those things. So pretty cool visuals. I really like the AI visuals that he had, and this is my favorite new song from Lupe Fiasco, and I think a lot of people feel this way. I think the general feeling is that Lupe Fiasco is finally back. I'm seeing a lot of positive reception for this song. So yeah, this song, let's dive into it real quick. So he flows in and out of subjects as we watch here his tapestry, his mental tapestry, as he says.
My mentality's a tapestry, ain't it? If I could paint it, it'd be too heavy to hang it from the nail in the wall, dangerously dangling.
With that beginning line talking about my mentality is a tapestry, already starting off with some imagery, and he's back in his metaphor bag, which is, you know, Lupe Fiasco's thing. He continues on with that tapestry metaphor there, and he talks about how it's too heavy, and then talks about how it's dangling, and then he says,
sick with the language of speaking pangolin down at the animal mall.
So who the hell knows what that means? But what I got from it is like pangolins are exotic. They also have a really long tongue.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, but they have a really long tongue, so you know it's like complicated. But they're also like highly hunted. So I don't know. It can be making references to all those things, and then
he who answered the call, the most canceled rapper who rapping never happened to file.
Oh yeah, like I said earlier, I pretty much canceled them in my mind. You know, and a lot of people have canceled them for a lot of different reasons, you know, for things that he said. What's that?
You're not a Lupe fan. You're a hater. You're fake. You're fake as hell.
Hey man.
Wanna subdue like Max Verstappen, take him off the track and lap him. I see the devil clapping his clouds.
And he compares himself to Max Verstappen, the F1 driver, who's pretty much like the most hated F1 driver in the sport for a lot of reasons. And then he actually named the flow in the middle of the song, which I really liked.
But this what happens after applause. If rapping was black, call it rapping from the back of a broad. This style of rapping's called pattern and pause.
So that was really dope. He finishes that first verse by saying,
Still a one-man class action trapped in his cause.
it's a reference to he's a one-man class because, you know, he's a professor now and he's the only professor up there in his class talking and also talking about he's the one-man class action, the class action lawsuits because I'm sure he feels this way with a lot of things because he's fighting against some very powerful entities a lot of times for something that'll benefit the masses, but he's the only man there, thus the one-man class action. I thought that verse was really dope, and then there's a little interlude before the second verse.
Yeah.
Stay focused, keep grinding, follow the mission, don't stop till you get there. When you think you're there, keep going, keep grinding, hustle.
Really dope, really motivational interlude. And now on to verse number 2. Starts off with saying,
I'm a different type of nigga fulfilled.
I think that means fulfilled as well as fulfilled, you know, for Uncle Phil. Just like the reference that J. Cole made before, how Uncle Phil makes you want to be a better man. And yeah, Lupe grew up in the same era, so I would guess that he definitely watched some Fresh Prince, because like who didn't? And then he goes on to say
the word nigga is a trigger, so chill. I'm like, why keep nigga concealed? As white people still using the word nigga for real.
And I'm like, yes, you got a point there. I mean, that did make me think to something else real quick that's interesting that I came across this week. There's this rapper. His name is thatmexicanot. And I heard one of his songs, Johnny Dang. I thought that was cool. I'm like, yeah, it sounds cool. So I'm like, I'm listening to some of his other songs.
He know better. He staying 6 feet for this. He a scary nigga. He ain't got no cover. Put him in the toaster. I don't like snakes in my grass, but I'm missing.
But yeah, I don't know. Is it okay? Is this okay?
Please don't tell me this is turning into a debate whether or not Mexicans can say the word nigga, bro.
But you have to see this guy. He looks pretty white to me.
I thought we came on here to talk about music. I did not come on here to discuss politics. That's what Third Eye Thursday.
That is music. That is music, you know. Let's finish off this song. Towards the end of the second verse, he's talking about, he compares to himself to a great white shark clearing his gills.
I'm from a lyrical, miracle, biblical guild. A great white clearing his gills, the nearest mirror of skill.
Just sounds raw. I don't know if sharks do that as an intimidation thing or just to breathe, but sounds dope. And then he compares to himself again. He says,
somewhere between jazz, jigger, and drill. Minus all the niggas it kills. Right before they finish, they will.
Talking about the untimely death of a lot of these drill music artists. He talks about his relationship with writing and compares it to an actual marriage.
I put the pen down, but the location was abbreviated. To briefly state it, that's briefly stated. We still apart, but the split was so congenital. It's like divorces was mediated, huh?
Which was interesting, and like how it was an amicable divorce. It was just really funny how he played with that concept. Towards the end of the verse here, he comes with a myriad of 3-letter words or 3-syllable phrases that he rhymes.
It's miracles in the data set. It's like I DBA. It's TD Jakes without a CPA. I used to CTA at Ferrari from then Harvey from this cause. He can't believe he made it. Target hated, feeling like a Star of David where they GDK it.
He goes like TD Jakes, CPA. I used to CTA it, and then it talks about the Star of David where they GDK it, you know, turning a positive religious symbol into something that has to do with gangs. Yeah, and then he goes on to say,
independent thinker, I should see the baby, feet covered in tinkers.
Which you'd think it's just talking about tinkers, but he's talking about the Tinker Hatfield Jordans, because, you know, he's a sneakerhead. This is just the surface level explanation of what's going on here. You know, like any Lupe song, if you really look into it, I'm sure there is a lot more that you can get. Goes on to end it with, he says,
promise to self, no longer reference the matrix and stay away from fake shit.
And that might be, he's talking about drill music in Zion and how the last album, you know, he wanted that to, you know, as a reference to the Matrix and how they're drilling into Zion, the robots drilling into Zion. And I feel like that went over a lot of people's heads. So maybe that's why he's saying, no, he's not longer referencing the Matrix. He's no longer barring niggas up like he says here in the live.
Yeah, I ain't making no more of that rappity rap backpack shit. I'm finna go make rich nigga on the beat shit for the rest of my career until I retire. Dance music, finna keep doing barring niggas up for nothing and shit. I'm not doing no more bar shit. I've done enough.
But yeah, who knows? I don't know if we can expect more of these bar-filled songs. These are my personal favorites because he says he's done doing that. But, you know, he did just come up with a beast of a song. So, yeah, and then he just ends it with...
Reverse Aztec, put my heart in the verse. The one man half dash, Carter and burp, yeah.
Reverse Aztec, put my heart in the verse, because, you know, Aztecs take the heart out. And then he talks about, at the end he says, one man half dash Carter and Burke, which are Damon Dash, Sean Carter, and Burke's Biggs, which are the three founders of Roc-A-Fella label. And that is the two verses of Roc-A-Fella Y'all. One of my favorite songs from Lupe since Drogas Wave. So really dope. Yeah, that's gonna be our breakdown for now. It's the two verses because we don't have all the time in the world, people. But if you really want the third verse broken down, type it in the comment and I promise I got you. So on that same live that we're talking about, Lupe also debuted a new song. And now that song at first, it wasn't really my jam, but it's definitely starting to grow on me. But yeah, not one of those rapidy raps, you know, those miracle lyrical guilt.
Birdo.
And they say better days and nights. I don't think it feels so strange. Now I know you better than the fun. I don't think it feels so strange. Yeah, I think we try this one more time. First impressions, first connections, first directions, first mess ups, first corrections. Learn from next ones, learn the lessons, learn to turn up, learn the lesson. Wins for listening, wins for lecturing. Take some time out, turn your testing, watch the distance, turn the blessing. And
Let's move on to some more new jams. Let's talk about Lupe Fiasco's other hero, which is Nas. Nas, as a lot of you have heard, just dropped another album. It's Magic 2, which is his fifth album with Hit Boy. This new run with Hit Boy is amazing, got him a Grammy, so it's really dope. It is crazy hearing Nas on these like modern beats, but it definitely sounds great, even though it does sound a little surreal. And he's definitely breaking the status quo and moving hip hop in a new direction, so I love it, doing its thing. This is the first crazy track on there is Abracadabra, where he says going back to back to back to back, you know, for his fifth album. You also got Office Hours with 50 Cent, and you got some more crazy flows there, and they kind of make fun of the conversation of like, shouldn't they retire? Nas says, Nas says, am I gonna step away from the business? But yeah, 50 Cent's outro on that is hilarious.
What we gonna do? We standing here, we going out. Shit, we should go out. We rich as a motherfucker.
50 Cent killed it, Nas killed it. There's the song Motion, and that's got a crazy flow also. I love it. Throughout this whole album, man, he's showing a lot of love to Hit Boy. It's really dope. And I'm not gonna go through any of the other songs, but there's a lot of great songs. Maybe just the last song, One Mic, One Gun. That was really dope with 21 Savage. We talked about it before when they dropped it as a single, and it fit really well on this album. So really dope job. I'm gonna mention a couple other new tracks, but before we do that, do we have any featured tracks up in here?
Man, let me get that mic real quick.
Oh snap, it's one of those.
Nah, at this point I just do it. At this point, I pretty much just use this mic so I don't have to like type subtitles all the time, because I'm not even gonna lie, who wants to do all that? Yeah, so to give you your featured tracks for the week, you know what I'm saying? It's something light, you know what I mean? You know, Travis Scott came out with the new K-pop song, Turn to a Pop Nigga. You know what I'm saying? Popped out with Bad Bunny, The Weeknd. I especially like The Weeknd's verse, only because, you know, he steps in, does his thing. Yada yada yada. All right, next one. Then I want to quickly mention the Drake and Central C freestyle. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. They was definitely playing on that, man. They got the flows going. This is just a random thought, but I think that Drake is starting to make himself more available to the public. He's getting to a point in his career where he knows that he's gonna be retiring soon, and he feels like he should be giving himself a more personable side to the audience. So you have all these random interviews popping up, and like, you know, all these comedy-filled interviews. He has like, I don't know, there's like this little satire aesthetic that he's going for, whether it's like in his concerts. Like, bro's starting to become a comedian on the low. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But yeah, aside from that, man, Drake and Central C dropped a freestyle on the Radar, which is the last place I would expect Drake to do a freestyle from. But I'm not gonna lie, he killed it with the flows, and so did Central C.
Bro, that line had me floored. I want to be under your breast like peas and rice.
I think Drake knows what he's gonna be doing after rap, bro. Bro's gonna be doing stand-up.
Yeah, he's really funny. Yeah, he was just in an interview with that girl. I don't know her name. Never Bobby something.
You're a thought, Bobby.
Yeah.
But anyways, aside from that, Quavo is set to drop a new album called Rocket Power. This one is especially dedicated to Takeoff, his late cousin. Passed away, unfortunately, because of gun violence in late September, early October. So rest in peace to Takeoff. But he is making the entire album dedicated to Takeoff. In the trailer, he was talking about different things going on with family matters and stuff, you know, different things, you know, between him and Offset. So understanding all of that, seems like he's getting a little bit more personal on this album. Kind of briefly mentioned it, but I kind of like that these artists are coming out and they're giving themselves a more personal side of themselves, like kind of like what I said with Lil TJ's album. But I don't know, I personally don't really listen to Quavo that much, really give that much of a take on it, but I hope he's going that way with the album. Yeah, that's what I got for you.
I'm just saying, I just noticed that he was on the Jackie. I totally missed his verse the first time. I'm just like,
I think you just literally came for Boss and jcole. You were just like,
I kind of did. But yeah, I went back and I listened to that song and I remembered how great those two are together, which kind of, you know, just kind of disappoints me when I hear Passport Bros. Pretty much an alcohol commercial, and then especially of like Boss, everybody's just waiting on pins and needles for Boss's new stuff.
Where the is the album, Boss? Drops
a alcohol commercial, man. Boy, sit your ass.
Boss, if you're listening to this right now, I really like the song. Don't listen to this hating nigga right over here.
Alright, anyways, on to some other new jams. Smoke DZA, Flying Lotus, and Black Thought just dropped a banger called The Drug Trade, and I just loved it. Sounds so dope. Awesome seeing Black Thought talk his shit, flex his lyrical muscle. Next up, Atmosphere dropped a jam called Still Life. So Atmosphere, I would say the #1 underground artist of all time. Just dropped that song. It's featuring Markage Dave. I think that's how you say it. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, Mr. Markage. Really dope, deep song with a lot of soul in it, you know, so take some notes, boss. Joey Badass dropped a song called Eulogy. It's a really dope song, beautiful, definitely has a lot of the feeling from that 1999 Joey Badass, you know. I feel like he really channeled that side of him, so it's a really dope song. Got Riot by A$AP Rocky. That's a fun jam out song. Kind of reminds me of like stick type, you know, music, mosh pit music. Really dope. Produced by Pharrell. Really like it. Denzel Curry dropped Blood on My Nikes, and that's a really dope jam. I mess with it. What the blood I want. Alright, finally we got Burna Boy and somebody named Byron Messiah dropped a song, which I feel like I shouldn't say the name of just because of the stereotype of people like me on the internet.
Just say it, my nigga.
Well, it's called Taliban. And now, just a little bit of hip-hop news. Drake being in all these shows. Elliot Wilson, the Rap Radar guy who just interviewed him, says that he keeps taking interviews from outside of the culture. White. Interesting for Elliot to like take shots at Drake, and now like they're going back and forth. You know, Bobby, who he did the interview with, and Caleb Presley, they're both super white. So I don't know, it's cool though. I mean, I would say do your thing, Drake. Out there being funny. On to some more news. Man, our hearts really go out to Gilly the Kid from $1 Million Worth of Game. It's really sad. A lot of you probably have heard about his son and it's just really sad to hear that about Gilly the Kid, because you know he's so like funny and positive, always like a positive source of energy. And then both him and his brother talk about, you know, being a positive member of the community and just being a good person, you know, in their show. So it's really sad seeing that happen to his son. His son was killed in a shooting, and then 2 others were shot in Philadelphia. Not really sure what, you know, led up to that, but it is definitely really sad. And on to some other news. Gucci Mane says he started rapping because seeing how Birdman is not a good rapper inspired him to start rapping. And man, I totally feel that. I remember back in the day, Lil Wayne song, whenever that Birdman part comes up and you're just like, what is this trash? So apparently Gucci Mane heard that and he's like, man, I can be on a record and say some trash too.
I don't know exactly what's the funnier part. The fact that Gucci started because Birdman being trash, or the fact that Gucci actually got millions of dollars and became one of the best rappers of all time because of Birdman.
Yeah, lastly, Birdman again was in Drewski's Could Have Been Records live. It's really funny. You know, Drewski always does the thing where he's got like a fake music label and he tells people to sign their life away when they have no talent. And it's the whole thing is pretty much he's making fun of Birdman, and you know, Birdman, he's been accused of all these things, you know, like signing people and like, you know, cheating them out of money and all of that stuff. So it's really funny. Then Birdman came on there. I don't know if this was planned or not. I feel like maybe it was like a planned and they're just, you know, making a joke of the situation, but it's just hilarious. It was really funny.
Niggas got the game fucked up. Nigga, I am that nigga. Nigga, I'm watching the shit you doing. Nigga, what the fuck is this record label you starting? How the fuck you doing this shit without the mother? But I'm saying, Birdman, nigga, this Birdman, nigga. So look, nigga, I was scared to call because nigga, I don't be knowing if you gonna pick up. But nigga, I've been wanting to work with you, Drake, Youngboy, Wayne. But you fucking with niggas that fuck with me though. You fucking with niggas that fucking with me.
But nigga, I'm still trying to get Wayne. But nigga, I'm trying to tell you, I didn't know you was fucking with though. I didn't know you was fucking with Youngboy. I didn't know you was fucking with Drake at the time. But when I was fucking with them, nigga, I don't know. I feel like I didn't do no money business with them. So I didn't feel wrong about what I was doing. When I reached out, I
put some respect on my name, bro.
But yeah, that's been Music That Matters. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had fun this episode. If you like it, man, give us a thumbs up. Help us out with this algorithm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. If you like that, you know, give us a thumbs up. Help us out with this algorithm. And until next time, y'all. Peace.
The more that time pass by, the more I wonder what my years hold. Is this grind enough to help me make it like my heroes? All these bars I set, but have I grown enough to clear those? Won't be like Chris Stressin', ain't you 20-something years old? Yeah, my nigga, true, but that's exactly what I mean. Was making tracks at 17, now I got album where the year goes.